Welcome to Tell Me More Stories Told as podcast.
Great to be here.
Today, we're really diving deep into someone I think many of us feel we know, but maybe don't fully grasp.
You mean James Hugh Calum Laurie?
Exactly. Hugh Laurie. We know the actor, right? Maybe the comedian. But there's so much more.
Oh, absolutely. Actor, comedian, musician, writer, even an almost Olympian. It's quite a story.
It really is. So our mission, if you like, is to sort of unpack all these different layers, go beyond the screen role.
Uncover the surprising depths, yeah. Because many people probably just think Dr. House.
Right. Or maybe Bertie Wooster if they go back a bit further.
But the real story is, well, much richer, more intricate.
So let's start at the beginning. Where does the Hugh Laurie story kick off?
Well, he was born June 11th, 1959, in Blackbird Leys, Oxfordshire.
Okay, Oxford, youngest of 4 kids.
Yep. His parents were Patricia and William Laurie, though everyone called him Ran.
Ran Laurie. Now, he sounds like quite a character himself, a physician.
And an Olympic gold medalist, rowing, coxless pairs at the 1948 London Games.
Wow, that's quite a legacy to grow up with. Medicine and elite sport.
Definitely sets a high bar, but his relationship with his mother, Patricia, sounds like it was maybe more complicated.
He described her as Presbyterian by character, by mood. That sounds reserved.
Yeah, and he even felt she didn't like him, which is quite a heavy thing for a child to feel.
Gosh, yeah. That must have shaped him somehow. She passed away from motor neurone disease in '89, right?
Yes, sadly. And it seems that Presbyterian influence, even though they weren't overly religious in practice, gave a certain attitude.
He mentioned finding pleasure a difficult thing. Like he couldn't quite trust happiness.
Perhaps. Or maybe it ties into that reserved upbringing. It adds a layer, doesn't it?
It does. So, school days. He went to the Dragon School first.
Where he admitted, quite frankly, to being a horrible child. Smoking, cheating,
Sounds like he had a rebellious streak early on. Then Eton College.
The most private of private schools, as he put it. Quite the establishment.
And then Cambridge in '78. Selwyn College. Was that just expected?
He said it was family tradition, since his father went there. But he didn't follow him into medicine.
No, he studied archaeology and anthropology. Social anthropology, specifically. Fascinating choice.
It really is. Maybe that interest in societies and how people tick fed into his acting later?
Could be. He graduated in '81 with third-class honors.
Yeah.
But academia wasn't his only focus at Cambridge, was it?
Not by a long shot. Like his father, he was seriously into rowing.
Seriously is the word. British national junior title in '77. Represented Great Britain.
Yep, at the Junior World Championships that same year.
Runner-up in the Silver Goblets in 1980. And then the big one, the boat race.
The Oxford and Cambridge boat race, 1980. He got his blue for Cambridge.
They lost, though, didn't they? Just barely.
By 5 feet. Agonizingly close. But yeah, he was training like a potential Olympian. 8 hours a day sometimes.
That level of dedication, you don't just lose that. It must transfer.
You'd think so. He was a member of Leander, Hermes, Hawks Club. Proper rowing pedigree.
But then life threw a curveball.
It did. Glandular fever, mono, forced him to stop rowing.
Just like that, after all that work.
Seems so. A real setback for his Olympic dreams, you imagine. But, you know, maybe a blessing in disguise for us.
How so?
Because it pushed him towards something else. He joined the Cambridge Footlights.
Ah, the legendary Footlights. The comedy club.
Exactly. The place that launched so many careers, and that's where he met Emma Thompson.
Right, they had a relationship, didn't they?
Yeah.
But stayed good friends afterward.
Yes. And crucially, she introduced him to Stephen Fry.
The other half of that iconic duo. Imagine that first meeting.
Must have been something. They even made fun of themselves early on, in The Young Ones.
Ah, yes, the Bambi episode. Classic.
Laurie became Footlights president in his final year, 80-81, with Thompson as VP.
And their review, the Cellar Tapes.
I love
That was a
that.
big deal, right?
Huge. Won the first ever Perrier Comedy Award at the Edinburgh Fringe.
Wow, the first one. That really put them on the map.
Absolutely. Led to a West End run, a TV version, and that led to Al Fresco.
Al fresco. With Fry, Thompson, Robbie Coltrane, Ben Elton. What a lineup.
Incredible talent pool, and that really kicked off the Fry and Laurie era.
The 80s and 90s were dominated by them, weren't they? So many projects together.
Definitely. Blackadder, obviously, is iconic.
Oh, Blackadder. He played so many great parts. Prince George, Lieutenant George.
Simon Partridge, Prince Ludwig, the Indestructible. All brilliant, memorable characters.
It's perfect comedic timing. And then their own show.
A Bit of Fry Laurie, that really showcased their unique intellectual, slightly absurd style.
Totally. And Jeeves and Wooster.
Ah, yes. Laurie as Bertie Wooster, the sort of charmingly dim aristocrat.
He was Bertie Wooster. So amiable, so perfectly clueless. Hard to imagine anyone else.
Fit him like a glove, didn't it? They did loads of charity stuff together, too. Stage shows, TV appearances.
A really enduring partnership. They even had that reunion show in 2010.
Fry and Laurie reunited, yeah. But Laurie wasn't just doing comedy back then.
No. What else was he up to?
Well, he did a serious TV film in '85, Letters from a Bomber Pilot. Showed a different side.
Okay, interesting. And he popped up in music videos.
Yep. Kate Bush's Experiment 4 and Annie Lennox's Walking on Broken Glass. Quite iconic ones, too.
Really? I'll have to look those up. And wasn't he in Spice World?
Huh. Yes, a brief role. And he was in an episode of Friends, too. The one on the plane with Rachel.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. We were on break.
That's the one. And then more substantial film roles started coming. Sense and Sensibility.
Which also had Emma Thompson, right? And Kate Winslet.
Correct. And he played Jasper, one of the baddies, in the live-action 101 Dalmatians.
Jasper. With Mark Williams as Horace. That's quite different from Bertie Wooster.
Totally. And Stuart Little playing the dad. He was building a solid film career.
But then came the role that just exploded everything.
You mean House?
Dr. Gregory House, 2004. That changed everything, didn't it?
Massively. It made him a global superstar. And that American accent.
Incredible, right? Apparently, Brian Singer, the executive producer, had no idea he was British at first. He thought he was genuinely American.
That's the story. He filmed his audition tape in a hotel bathroom in Namibia, of all places.
Namibia. Why was he there?
He was shooting the film Flight of the Phoenix at the time. Talk about commitment.
Wow. And it paid off. Golden Globes, Screen Actors Guild Awards.
2 Golden Globes, multiple SAG Awards, yeah. Huge recognition.
And he became, like, the most watched leading man on TV, according to Guinness World Records.
Yep, in 2011.
Yeah.
And one of the highest paid actors in TV drama.
Huge money. It must have been intense, though, that level of fame.
You'd imagine so. He also directed some episodes of House, getting involved behind the camera, too.
Interesting. Did that role stop him doing other things?
Well, he was apparently cast in Superman Returns, but had to drop out because the House schedule clashed.
Ah, shame. Imagine him in a Superman film. What could have been?
A big what if. But House was obviously the defining role for that period. But acting isn't his only talent, is it? We mentioned music earlier.
Right, the piano. He started when he was 6.
Yeah, very accomplished pianist. But he also plays guitar, drums, harmonica, saxophone. Quite the multi-instrumentalist.
We saw bits of it in his acting, didn't we? And when he hosted Saturday Night Live.
Definitely. And he was in that charity rock group, Banned from TV.
Oh, yeah, with Greg Grunberg and James Denton.
That's them. He played keyboards and sang. He even played piano on a Meatloaf track.
No way. Which one?
If I Can't Have You. But his solo music career is really focused on blues.
Let Them Talk and Didn't It Rain? Those albums got really good reviews, didn't they?
Very favorable. He's genuinely passionate about New Orleans blues. He collaborated with legends like Tom Jones, Irma Thomas, Dr. John.
Proper blues royalty. That gives him real credibility.
Absolutely. And he closed the Cheltenham Jazz Festival in 2011. That's a big honor.
There were those TV specials, too, about his love for New Orleans music.
Perspectives on ITV and great performances on PBS, really exploring that passion. He even filmed a concert on the RMS Queen Mary.
Wow. So actor, comedian, musician, and writer.
And writer. His novel, The Gun Seller, came out in '96.
I remember that. A thriller, but funny, right? Sort of Woodhouse-esque.
Exactly. That Woodhouse influence comes through. It was a bestseller. He's apparently been working on a screenplay for it, too.
Has he written anything else?
There was meant to be a second novel, The Paper Soldier, scheduled for 2009, but it hasn't surfaced yet. Maybe one day.
Okay, so shifting gears a bit, his personal life seems quite grounded compared to the whirlwind career.
It does seem that way. Married Joe Green, a theater administrator, back in 1989.
Still together, 3 kids. That's quite something in show business.
It is, and Stephen Fry was his best man.
Oh, that's lovely. And godfather to his children, too.
Yes. That friendship clearly runs very deep.
He's also been quite open about his struggles with depression, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. He spoke about severe clinical depression quite candidly on Inside the Actor's Studio.
That takes courage. He mentioned finding boredom an odd response to, like, exploding cars. A very stark way of putting it.
It really highlights the internal experience, doesn't it? It shows it can affect anyone.
Definitely. And he credits P.G. Woodhouse's writing with saving his life.
Strong words, but he clearly finds great solace and joy in Woodhouse. and he identifies as an atheist, belief-wise.
Okay. Any other interesting tidbits? Hobbies?
He's a big motorcycle fan, got bikes in London and L.A., a Triumph Bonneville in the States, apparently.
Nice. A classic choice. And he did Desert Island Discs twice.
He did, once in '96 and again in 2013. Must have had very different choices. Shows his evolving tastes, I guess.
And he's an Arsenal supporter. Good to know.
Ha, yes. For all the football fans listening.
So all this talent and work hasn't gone unnoticed, obviously.
Yeah.
Awards, honors.
Oh, plenty. Those 3 Golden Globes, 2 SAG Awards we mentioned for House, 10 Emmy nominations in total.
10? That's impressive, even without a win.
And he got honors from the Queen.
Yep. An OBE in 2007, and then promoted to a CBE in 2018, both for services to drama.
OBE and CBE. Very prestigious. And an honorary fellow of his old college, Selwyn College, Cambridge, in 2012. A nice full circle.
Plus a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2016. He's properly cemented his place.
No doubt about it. And he hasn't slowed down much in recent years either.
No. He was brilliant in The Night Manager. That won him his 3rd Golden Globe, didn't it?
It did. Excellent miniseries. And he had that great recurring role in Veep.
Oh, yeah. Tom James. He was hilarious in that. Playing slimy politicians seems to suit him sometimes.
He does smarmy charm very well. He played villains in Tomorrowland and the series Chance, too.
Keeping things varied. What's he been up to most recently?
Well, he was in films like Holmes and Watson and The Personal History of David Copperfield. And he's currently starring in that HBO space comedy Avenue 5.
Right, Avenue 5.
Yeah.
And he's joining the cast of Tehran for its next season, too.
So yeah, still very much active, still taking on interesting, diverse roles.
It's just an incredible range, isn't it? From broad comedy to intense drama, music, writing.
Truly multifaceted.
Okay, so here's a fun fact we touched on earlier, but it's worth repeating because it's just so good.
The accent.
The accent. That absolutely flawless American accent for Dr. House, the one that fooled the producers. He is, incredibly British, like afternoon tea in queuing British.
Huh. It really just highlights his skill as an actor, that ability to completely transform.
It really does. And listen, if you're enjoying these kinds of deep dives, finding out the stories behind fascinating people, definitely hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, don't miss out on future explorations here on Tell Me More.
Because Hugh Laurie's story, well, it just shows you, doesn't it? Someone who could have been an Olympic rower ends up being a global acting star, a blues musician, a novelist.
It's a testament to adaptability, to following different passions. Life doesn't always go according to the initial plan.
Not at all. From rowing shells on the cam, to the Footlight stage, to House's diagnostic whiteboard, to a blues bar piano. It's quite the journey.
An amazing journey. And pursued with this sort of quiet dedication, it seems.
So as we wrap up our exploration today, it's clear Hugh Laurie is far more than any single role. He's this incredible blend of talents.
Definitely. A man of surprising depth, driven by diverse passions.
So what part of his story surprised you the most? Was it the rowing, the music, that early Presbyterian mood?
It makes you wonder, what other facets are there still hidden? Maybe revisiting his work now, you'll see it with slightly different eyes.
A great thought to end on. There's always more to discover.